Hello everyone, today I'm starting a new free-to-play account to show you guys how quickly a new player can progress in this game. Hopefully you guys will learn something new here which you can apply to your own accounts. As many of you might already know, Touhou LostWord is a gacha game where you spend materials for a chance to get certain good characters. In many of these gacha games, you get some materials to start with, which means you can immediately roll for a chance to get some rare characters. If you get lucky with these starting rolls and get a strong character, it makes the early game a lot faster and it gives you a huge head start. That's why I'm gonna spend a bit of time doing rerolls, which means making new accounts until you get lucky on this initial roll. On average, it will take about 2 hours of rerolling to get a featured character. Rerolling isn't a must, but I highly recommend it and I think you'll see why in this playthrough. This is the initial roll you will see when you make a new account. However, this is not the one that we want to reroll. The actual reroll will come a little bit later. That's because the characters you can get here aren't that good, and most of them you get for free, besides Journal or Sane. Even though you can click the decline button and very quickly reroll this one, this roll doesn't really matter that much and I'm not gonna bother with it. However, if you don't want to do the rest of the reroll process, then I recommend getting Yomu here. Or if you want to collect everyone, you can go for Journal or Sane, as they are the only 2 out of these 7 you won't get for free later on. So I'm just gonna explain the whole reroll process and then you can decide whether or not you want to do it. So, in order to reroll, you need to complete this combat tutorial, finish this download, attend Alice's tea party, or skip it and she'll be sad, visit Reimu in the shrine, skip, complete a tutorial prayer. This is a false prayer from the general pool, it's not the one we want to reroll. There's a skip button on the top right, but it only skips cards that you already have, so the animations do take some time. Afterwards, there will be some login bonuses. These also take really long, so if you're rerolling a lot, I recommend just closing and reopening the app, which will skip all the animations, but you will still get the rewards. Then, there's one more skippable cutscene. All these cutscenes can be re-watched from the main menu under Journal if you want to watch them later. Finally, there's a little tutorial thing for the main menu which you can tap through quite quickly, and then Yukari will ask you to explore more of the main story. She forces you to tap that button, but you can go back to home immediately and then claim your mail. This is where you'll get your seal crystals, these green cubes that you will use to roll. Finally, you can go to the prayers tab and roll on whatever featured friend that you want. Today I'm gonna be going for Misumaru, but these prayers are limited, so most likely she won't be around by the time you're watching this video. So I'll talk a bit about who to select later on. As you can see, I have 180 seal crystals and I can pray a little bit over 30 times. The drop rate for a featured friend is 1 in 200 or 0.5%, as you can see over here. So, on average, it will take me 200 pulls to get this character, and at about 30 pulls per new account, it will take me about 7 new accounts in order to get this character on average. It takes about 11 to 15 minutes to reroll one account, and this depends a little bit on your internet speed because of the download. So, overall, on average, it takes less than 2 hours to hit your reroll target. Now that you've decided to reroll, the question is, who do you reroll for? There are often various banners with limited characters, so I will try and keep a pinned comment or the description updated with my recommended meta reroll choice. Of course, if you like one of these characters, then by all means go ahead and get her. I should also mention the difference between Festival and Ultra Festival units. The problem with Ultra Festival units is that they need Divine Paper Dolls to limit break. And Divine Paper Dolls are quite rare, so it will be about 2 to 3 months before you can max out this character. And in that time, these Ultra Festivals will not be as powerful as a maxed out Festival character. This is why I recommend going for a Festival character at the start, as it will make the early game a lot easier. While Ultra Festivals are quite strong, I don't recommend going for them unless you are extremely sure that you want to play this game in the long term. The game also recently added epic units which require epic paper dolls to max out. These epic paper dolls are very rare. By the way, festival units cost 150 exchange points, meaning that you need to do 150 prayers to pity this friend. And general units cost 100 exchange points. So in this prayer, there's a festival which is limited character as well as a general pool character, which means a general pool characters you can get from any prayer essentially. And for Ultra Festival units, it takes 250 exchange points, which is the other major difference between Festival and Ultra Festival. So anyway, I went to do my rerolls and I was prepared for a couple of hours of rerolling if I got unlucky, but you won't believe what I got on my first reroll. Those two paper doll icons means I got two friends, and I was hoping one of them would be Misumaru. And indeed it was. I got Misumaru on my first 10 pull on my first reroll somehow. That's pretty lucky. And the other friend that I got in this 10 pull was another Misumaru, so damn, that's a lot of Misumarus. So now you've got your featured friend and you're ready to start playing the game. But before that, you're gonna do two things. First, do not do any more pulls. It can be tempting to try and roll for another friend, but you'll most likely just be wasting your cubes. You should save your cubes until you have enough to spark a unit, which is 750 cubes to do 150 pulls, which will guarantee you the unit instead of doing random pulls and just getting unlucky and wasting your cubes. The second thing you're gonna do is go to menu and make a transfer code. Create transfer code, create code, and this code, you should take a screenshot of it, save it somewhere safe. This code is like a username and password. When you create it, you can use it to log into your account essentially, and you can use it as many times as you like until you create a new code. And now this one is going to be blurred. Okay, so now that we've got all of that out of the way, I'm going to go to the shop and claim the free daily gift. These are just some of the things that you can do every day, or that you should be doing every day. There's a free limited gift, and there's also seal crystals in the coin shop. These seal crystals, or this coin shop refreshes every 8 hours, and they can sell seal crystals, which you should always be buying. It's also worth to buy these golden scrolls as well. I'm also gonna sell some of the story cards which aren't that good. Most of the 3-star cards are safe to sell, except for Miracle Mallet, this one, as well as Valued Tools of the Trade, which looks like a little cell phone. And I'm going to use these tokens to buy the seal crystals from the token shop, which I also recommend doing. I think that's quite worth to do. And I'm gonna set my friend or my favorites as Misumaru. This is going to passively increase her friendship, which I will talk a bit more about later. By the way, only the friend in the first position will gain friendship. You can put more friends here, and then you can go to the home screen and get Sakuya to be in the home screen. But if you look at the top left, Misumaru is still over here, which means that Misumaru is the one that gains the passive friendship from being on the home screen. And you can also change your music here, so you can unlock these music CDs throughout the game, and from login bonuses and from some events, so you can change it to something else if you like. So now what you want to do is clear more story stages to unlock stuff like school, dojo, and errands. This part isn't very entertaining. I'm just pressing the shot button a couple of times to kill the enemy, so I'm gonna skip through most of it. There are a lot of guest units, so make sure you add in your own units so that you can gain EXP and they can help you clear the stage. Just one friend is enough to clear the stages, but if you want to level up some of your other friends, then you can go ahead and add them in as well. EXP is not split between friends, they all get the full amount. And by the way, you can increase animation speed from the menu. Part of the reason why I'm clearing these stages so easily is because there's EXP up on main story stages right now, which actually happens quite often, but because of that I'm over leveled, so I can very quickly sweep through these stages. Of course, rerolling for a strong festival unit to start with also helps a lot. Here I tried to explain some basic combat mechanics, but the enemies were too weak and they just died instantly, so yeah, I'll try that again a bit later. Okay, so I finished up the prologue, and what this is gonna do is unlock the Kourindou Roulette. The Kourindou Roulette is a bunch of free prayers given out to new players, and you can access it by completing the prologue and then reopening the game. Basically, you get to spin this wheel and you get a random amount of prayers, 10, 20, 30 or 100. This lasts for 10 days, so the first 10 days that you log in, you can do this, and on the 10th day, if you didn't get 100 prayers on an earlier day, then you're guaranteed 100 prayers on the 10th day. The pool of friends and story cards available in this prayer is a little bit outdated because they sort of refresh this Kourindou Roulettes every couple of months. Of course, I get Sunny Milk here, by the way. Anyway, when they refresh the Kourindou Roulette, they update the pool, and every player, old and new, gets to receive these free prayers again. So that's why it's usually a little bit outdated, but that's fine. It's still free friends, free prayers, free stuff, free story cards. This is a pretty good stopping point for day 1, because like I said, the Kourindou Roulette lasts for 10 days, and you want to get these free prayers as early on as possible. Of course, you should play the game at your own pace, so if you want to carry on, then go ahead. Or if you want to stop earlier, then that's entirely up to you. Touhou LostWord is a marathon, not a sprint, so make sure you play at your own pace. But before I end day 1, I'm going to complete the daily tasks, and this is quite important. So every day you have these daily tasks: win battles, perform a prayer, clear the daily stage, and collect spirit points and coins. So these daily tasks do give seal crystals, so it's important to do them. I'm gonna go ahead and do my daily stages. Not only are they part of the daily task, but they also drop some good materials. So you can unlock more of them as your player level increases, but they dropped and they start to drop gold materials at higher difficulties. They also give quite a decent amount of EXP, so you can just put in a bunch of characters that you want to level up. These enemies are a little bit stronger than the prologue enemies, and I will be using some spell cards to finish them off. The stage actually ended up being a little bit more challenging than I thought. If you're having trouble, don't be afraid to do the easier version of the daily stages. When you complete a stage, it will save a replay, so I equipped some story cards to increase my damage output, and then I use this auto replay function to clear the stage 2 more times, as you can do these stages 3 times a day. The auto replay function will basically try its best to mimic the same actions that you did when you first completed the stage. I now realize that this daily stage would have been a pretty good time to talk about combat mechanics, but I guess that will have to wait until tomorrow. So I finish up the stage and I go back to claim my daily task reward. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I will be able to finish 5 daily tasks today. There's actually another daily task, which is complete 1 errand, but I haven't unlocked errands yet, and currently I cannot claim any spirit points or coins because I'm capped out from stuff like login bonuses or login rewards. So yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to do this today. And that's the end of day 1. While I do want to progress this account as quickly as possible, I also want to spend a reasonable amount of time every day, so that I can prove that it's possible for a new player to reasonably get very quick progress in this game. Thank you for watching, and see you guys tomorrow, where I will level up my friends some more as well as clear more main story.